about finding a life partner. Since I'm about to be 30, and Richie always says, "Oh, well, when the time comes, you're not going to have a choice." And I'm like, "Well, that's bullshit." And
I got to we need to be clear about this. I didn't tell him he didn't have a choice. I told him it wasn't up to him. There's a big difference. Okay,
what?
What? There's a big difference.
Well, let's kick her off, man.
All right.
Welcome, my brothers and sisters, to Two Old Goats. Now that Lil Chrissy's here, we're going to get really uncomfortable.
All right. Good.
Guest appearance.
He had a week to prepare. So y'all turn your volumes up. This ought to be real good.
Yeah, you know me, I'm good at preparing and not bullshitting.
Right.
That's right.
Isn't that right, Tom?
Yeah.
Good at preparing, not bullshitting, showing up on time. Shit, dude, you're the man.
Not quitting on things after a week. It's
following
it's crazy.
through. Yeah.
Sublime.
Yeah. Perfection in the dictionary has a picture of you. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you guys got any topics you want to talk about?
Well, Chris, why don't you introduce yourself real quick and they've been hearing our stuff for a long time.
Oh yeah, I forgot the last one we did. I never saw the light of day.
We didn't make it to air. We had technical difficulties on the sound.
Hopefully that's not happening again. It should be good, but
no, it sounds great.
As you see is my tag. They have named me Lil Chrissy, so I'm just gonna run with it out of respect for the two old goats. And
there you go. That's the ticket, brother.
Been working with these guys for a minute, and I like the shit that they say sometimes. So I figured I'd come on and help make it less boring. Because you old goats know each other too well is the problem.
Right. Well, you know the parts you like ain't the important parts.
Yeah,
that's
I usually
the parts you don't
out.
like. That's the important parts.
Well, I like your YouTube shorts.
All right, good.
Do a good job with those.
I'm learning how to do a thumbnail. So.
Oh, Tommy, what are you learning to do to help the podcast?
I just continue showing up, bro.
Yeah.
He's out exploring Central Texas for us.
Yeah.
That's right.
Checking the market out there.
Okay.
See if we need to start a meeting or something.
Well, I got a question for you, Little Chrissy.
Shoot.
All right. So I know that you've been doing the extended fasting quite often lately.
Yes.
And I've been doing it. I do a 3 to 5 day, depending on how I feel at the end of every month. And one thing I noticed was come day 3, going into day 4, I start getting like a film on my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And are you having those same experiences? I looked it up to find out what it is. There's a few things that cause it, but I was just curious if you're experiencing...
Not brushing your teeth? That's one cause.
Just because you're not eating doesn't mean you don't brush your teeth, bro. I don't know.
Right. I'm just saying that could be one cause.
Well, no, I actually brush my teeth more often when I'm fasting because going into the extended fasting, you do get a little bit of bad breath.
I've heard that shit.
A lot of your toxins are coming out. So I do brush my teeth at least 2 or 3 times before I go to bed even. Because I just can't get that damn film off my teeth.
Number one, no, I haven't experienced that yet. But, I do like the hardcore, straight up water, not even like liquid IV.
Yeah.
I'm just doing nothing but water and like flavorless vitamins, which is just,
right.
It's just god awful, honestly. But I would say I don't know like how intense you're being with yours. Maybe one of those other low calorie or no calorie things might be causing that.
No, I'm doing straight fast. I mean, once in a while, like I'll do a bone broth or something like that when I get into 5 and 6 days. But typically the 3 to 4 days, it's just straight water. I do still take my vitamins and things like that, but nothing out of the ordinary. I talked to my girlfriend, ChatGPT, and
What's
she
her
told
name?
me,
Eliza?
Eliza?
No, Alicia.
Alicia?
Damn, girl.
Yeah, so she had shared with me that even though you're not eating, your body still produces bile. And it could be, bile coming up and putting a film on your teeth. So,
Well, I don't know about you, but when I go back to eating, it's not the cleanest. And you could just be excreting straight up bacon grease out of your mouth as time goes on.
Stop. That's not it.
That's not it? Are you positive? Did you ask ChatGPT? Did you ask Alicia?
Yeah.
No, I learned a while ago when I come out of my 3 and 5 day fasts, or extended fasts, that I start off pure bone broth, maybe some sauerkraut, maybe some yogurt. No, I'm talking pure yogurt. No flavors, no sugars, just pure yogurt. Because what I'm trying to do is build up those biomes and all that fucking shit in the body,
Your gut biome.
The gut biome stuff. So I'm building that up, and that's my first meal, and it's not even a full one. And then I wait about 5 to 6 hours for my full meal, and then I'm right back into keto, paleo, carnivore type of food. Which is like tonight, I broke my 4-day fast. This afternoon, I had bone broth and a banana. That's literally it that I had. And then for dinner tonight, I had an amazing meal. It was 2 hamburger patties, pure beef, okay, 80-20, 4 pieces of bacon, avocado, 2 avocados, because I freaking love those things, 2 fried eggs, salsa, and sliced cheese. And that was my dinner tonight.
Then you broke your fast today and you did that?
For my full meal. Well, I broke it with bone broth.
But it was within the same day.
Yeah, it's the same day.
Yeah.
Then you don't shit yourself the following day eating that.
No. I shit myself immediately after having bone. Every single time. The moment I put any caloric,
hamburger, bacon.
Yeah, no. The moment I break my fast and I put anything caloric in my body, boom, I'm on the toilet. Straight through me. Like within 30 minutes, I'm on the toilet.
I recommend the Cajun Greek in Galveston for breaking a fast.
Oh yeah, you should do that more often.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was going to ask,
a fun weekend.
What has been your drive or motive for fasting? Because I get this question a lot. How do you do it? How the fuck are you not eating for days? Especially when I do like the week ones, people are in utter disbelief. And to me, it's not that crazy. But for you, what has been able to keep you through those extended fasts? And I know in your situation, you say that you don't feel the hunger, but it is all a mental thing.
I feel the hunger. Well, I don't feel the hunger. It's on day one is the worst day. It's always the worst day. It's mental. My mind is like, what are you doing? You don't have to do this. We're in this together, brother. Don't do this to us.
Yeah.
Don't you love us? You're a great guy. Why are you doing this to us? And then come day second when I wake up, man, I'm feeling good. But the thing is I know I'm not going to hurt myself. I've been doing this long enough. I've been playing with this long enough that come day 2, it's going to be okay, and you just have to get there. I don't really start feeling anything until coming day 4, day 5. I start feeling a little better, actually. I feel clear. I feel, I kind of want to keep going with things. But I'm on a regimen right now. I'm not going to do a big fast until 6 months into it. And I'm talking, 7+ days going into maybe 10 days. So, but the whole reason why I do what I do is because I know it works. I'm tired of going to doctors and saying the answer is in a pill, potion, or lotion. I'm tired of that. Why? I haven't had a modern Western doctor ask me what's your eating habits, what's your exercise habits, what's your lifestyle, what are your goals in life, where do you want to be. It's nothing. It's like, oh, you got diabetes, here's an injection.
Right.
Oh, you have high blood pressure, here's a pill. You know, it's not, hey, let's figure out how to stop this. Let's figure out how to have a solution to this, you know? And I get so tired of that. I've filled my body up with so many chemicals my entire life. I don't want to put chemicals in my body anymore. I want to do something different, something that's been working for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. You know? So that's why I do what I do.
Turns out that bacon butter's not so bad for you.
That bacon is not hurting me.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, when I had my first heart
bacon
attack,
butter.
I asked the doctor specifically that after he put 2 stents in me.
Right.
I go, was it the bacon? Was it the bacon butter? He goes, it had nothing to do with bacon butter. Eat all the bacon you want, brother.
There you go. Rock on.
That's the Western doctor you want.
Know, I asked him, I go, was it the cigarettes? He goes, it wasn't the cigarettes, man. It wasn't the cigarettes. Not for the heart. It wasn't the cigarettes.
No.
I go, what was it? He was like, the sugar. I go, sugar?
Right.
I don't eat that much sugar.
Right.
Yeah.
You were drinking that much sugar.
I was drinking that much sugar.
Hell yeah, you were.
Well, I think this can segue into an interesting topic. Me and Richie were discussing last night. I don't know if you've heard, but our Wednesday meeting will be likely moving somewhere else.
Okay.
And Richie's really been trying to keep it there, but it seems like at every turn, it's just not happening. And I mean, this last time, he really went through every single page of the book to make sure we could have that meeting there. And we show up, and they're like, who are you guys? Like, what are y'all doing
really
here?
Acted like they didn't know us.
Straight up.
That
They're
little
like, who are you
turd, that
guys?
little turd, Robert, he was hiding from us.
Yeah.
He never came out.
Oh,
He
really?
was hiding. Little son of
No,
a
he was
bitch.
hiding. He wouldn't come out.
Man, he eats all our Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah, he
Uh-huh.
finally. I told Todd, go tell him we got some candy.
That's right.
And Todd came back and he said, you got to talk to this lady up here.
Go on now. Well, after the meeting, we were talking, and we said, when do you know when to give up? So I guess the topic can be, we can start with, when do you know when to give up and move on, or when is it part of the challenge and you need to persevere through it? That is what I was thinking about. And kind of like with the fasting as well, because I have a lot of people tell me, oh, that's not healthy, or you're pushing it too far, or, you know, you're going to come to depend on it too much. And I'm just like, well, maybe you're just a big bitch. I don't know. It doesn't seem that hard to me, you know, but just kind of like with the challenges that we go through in general, and even like with what we're doing with the meeting right now, like we agreed last night, maybe we got to go save some drunks on 529, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we're being shown. Maybe that's what we're being pushed. But how do you know when it is time to move, or it's just part of it?
Well, I got an answer, but I want to hear what Richie's got to say so I can yell at him and argue with him. Tell him he's fucking wrong.
Right?
Let's hear what you got, brother.
Well, how do you know? I'm not sure that you ever know. You know,
Bullshit!
We talked a little bit about last week, I think, about belief and faith.
Uh-oh.
And you know, you get into the faith, that's a little risk. That's some unknown. So, candidly, I don't believe that you ever know what's the right thing to do. I think you make the decision based on the information you have, and then you make that decision right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's about is what we do right now. You know, which kind of, I mean, if you want to blow the lid off of this, we can.
Of course he does. Why else is he here? This is his contribution to blow the lid off.
Right. Well, a lot of things have come to me since we talked lately. And one of the things was, I don't know if you mentioned, if you recorded me last night, and I didn't know you were recording me.
Yeah, illegally.
Yeah, and it's not going anywhere, so it's no big deal. But and you said, listen to this, and I was like, well, what for? And, you know, we talked about it, and I said, well, honestly, I don't know what I say in there. You know, we talked about it. It just comes out. It comes through.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was talking to you about being frustrated with whenever I'm editing our podcast, my language skills are horrible. I have great vocabulary and a great education. It doesn't necessarily show. And then, I confuse that with what I just did. I pause for and I say
What do they call that? Like filling space or like filling...
I think it's bullshit, and it's a sign. I'm calling myself out here. It's a sign that I'm trying to think of some shit to say, or that I'm trying to make it make sense to somebody else instead of just letting it flow out. Mm-hmm. It's a sign that I'm going, you're listening to me, so I'm going to...
You just did it again. It's too ingrained.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But what made me think that was when I listened to that last night, because I've been used to listening to myself doing these edits, right? Well, I listened to that last night. I did not say one time.
It was like 3 minutes and 30 seconds too, straight.
Not one time. Mm-hmm. And then I was thinking, there was a few things in there I don't remember saying, So, and I always accuse people will come up to me in a meeting and say,
I can't stop hearing it.
Some people come up to me after a meeting and they'll say, oh, you said blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, I didn't say anything like that. Mm-hmm. And in my head, I really didn't. I don't remember saying anything like that. But that's what they heard. So anyway, that was kind of a big thing. And then, our pastor had a good... I know. Fun stuff. Pastor had a good talk this weekend, and the reason I wanted to listen to it because he was talking about how to be different, right? And he says, well, his first one, he says, I'm going to tell you 3 ways: pray different, blah blah blah; think different, blah 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 blah. And then he says, at the end, he goes, and the last one is, and he nailed me on this one, don't confuse the outcome with the opportunity. And I'm thinking, dude, we do that all day long, especially when we're working with, or get a chance to talk to a newcomer, or talk just in life, talk to a new client or anything like that. We're already thinking what the outcome is instead of, here's the opportunity. Can I get my toe in the door? Okay, I got my toe in the door. Opportunity gets bigger. I got their interest. Something like that. Until, you get their full attention. So, anyway, I thought that was, and it ties in with what you're saying, I believe.
Okay.
What you started off with, what your question topic was.
So tie that in for me into how you can figure out, I guess. Or it sounds like what you're saying is, in your point of view, there isn't a definitive. You kind of just open your eyes and ears and start looking. And actually, that's one of the biggest things we learn is, are you actually looking to grow? Are you actually looking for like wisdom or whatever in your endeavor, whether it's improving a skill, improving your health, looking for those little clues, I guess, and inferring what direction you should go in, it sounds like.
Right, opportunities. You just used a lot of words for opportunity.
Okay.
And it's paying attention and being awake. Being alert to, I'm watching for opportunities.
That makes sense.
Could this be one? Could this be one? It's like turning over, stones on the beach. I did it again. I'm going to break it. Bear with me.
It takes a lot of like active sifting through your thought process. That's difficult, man.
It does for me.
Tommy. So.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Do you know?
Tell me my bullshit. Please.
Well, you got a few nuggets in there. Nuggets. Definitely opportunity is the most important in all aspect. But how do you know, right? How do you know there's something going on here, that there is an opportunity, right? usually there's some kind of pressure, stress, friction of some kind. You start feeling something, so you know something needs to be done. Okay? Now, what needs to be done, my suggestion is involve counsel. Don't let it just be you trying to figure it out. Especially if you got a mind like mine, it's not a good idea because my outcome is going to benefit me, and it usually screws everybody else around me. I have no intentions on doing that. It's not like I'm sitting there going, oh, how can I screw everybody else out of whatever, you know? It just happens, you know? Not intentional.
Sorry to cut you off. That's huge, but I think that was probably what he was talking about on the first two, where he said pray and think differently is what you just described. And I'm like, I skipped right over that and got to the opportunity, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and that makes sense about the think differently. I see it all the time. I hear it all the time. Typically, if the mass is go the other way. Because those are all the followers that are being led by somebody, right? And most likely it's not the proper way to go. That's why you always have counsel. Bring some other minds into it, people that you know that can be honest, right? Despite what the outcome is, they can be honest. Friction, pressure, stress, right? Those are signs that something's going on. Some movement is about to happen. Now, that's where you got those sayings like, well, you can hold on and hurt or let go and grow, right? That's where those things start happening where, like with this meeting here, throughout the last probably 6-7 years, it's, okay, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? The meeting's no longer here. No, okay, now it's coming back. Oh, now it's gone. But the truth is we always made the most of it, and it was never about the building.
Right.
Ever. It was never about the building.
Correct.
I take it back. It was about the building to people that don't have a good program. Those people, most of them never came back. But there was a group that met in people's garages, that met at parks, that met at Kroger's. That's the true meaning. It's just like with homes, a home's not a building. A home is the people that live together in harmony and all that stuff. So with this right here, I don't know. I mean, it was never about the building. Fucking go wherever you want. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And if this is becoming too much of a hassle, because that's not what this is about. If the meeting becomes too much of a hassle, move it. It's just simple. That was never an issue for us, is to go somewhere else.
Right.
Right.
We did that a lot, and it's funny you say that because I was thinking the same thing last night when I was driving home. It's the little thing that he sent me that I listened to. I said something in there about I blanked on it. I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, I blanked on it. What did I talk about? Do you remember?
I don't know. You were talking about what other people were talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I know you were trying to reach that newcomer with a specific passage, and Russ had shared the doctor's opinion, and you wanted to make sure that he continued to like a certain part.
Yeah.
I don't remember like the exact wording, but that like you were really trying to focus in on that part because a lot of people tend to read that part of the doctor's opinion, which is, the defining characteristics of an alcoholic, but then they tend to stop there and not read that second part.
What gets us here and not what keeps us here. So that's I always want to hear both parts. So does that make sense?
I do have a finale to knowing that it's time to do something different.
Okay.
Go on.
This is a fact. You ready? Fact check this one. If the words ever come out of your mouth that says, are you ready? You waiting for this?
I'm ready. I'm going to write it down.
This is just where we've always been. Oh. It's time to fucking move. Yeah. Time to get out of here. This is just what we've always done. This is just what we've always been doing. Time to go. That's how you know. If those words ever come out of your mouth, this is what we've always done.
Yeah, you should have left a year ago.
Time to go.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, I thought of what it was. Now I was listening to the part where people ask about my success or our success, and I said it was 100%, right? And I was thinking about when I was telling you, this meeting used to have 60 people, and it got down to basically me and Tom and Dick P. Mm-hmm. And I think Bill would come every now and then, but that was it. And I was complaining to you about it, but guess what? It worked 100% for us.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's your point that you were making.
Yeah.
It's not about where or when or how many people or whatever. It's about what we do, and that's the opportunity here. Is can we keep this going?
Well, yeah, and the other thing is, truthfully, a lot of the individuals that, back when it was 50, 60 people, breaking out into small groups and stuff, there was still a small little consistent group. Mm-hmm. I'm talking 6 to 10 people that were consistent. Now there may have been a little bit more that were consistent, but they weren't working a program. They were just going to meetings to go to meetings. Mm-hmm. They weren't doing it. They weren't sponsoring. They weren't working. They weren't getting in the book with anybody. They were just going to go because that's what they've always done. And sure enough, when that building went away, they went away.
Right, and didn't come back. Yeah.
But guess what? The people that were working a program, working together, stayed together. And it doesn't matter, man. We were in multiple buildings, no buildings, wherever. And we kept doing the meeting, man.
That's it.
We can go wherever we want, man, and do whatever we want.
Okay.
Yep. There you go.
So now you know. And if you don't know, now you know.
Oh, go ahead and finish the rest of that line.
No.
Is that a song?
It is. And the word that he missed at the end, he's not allowed to say. It's not his word.
Okay. My word. Now, I did hear a funny joke about that funny word.
Go on.
Yes.
I saw this picture, and this guy goes, okay, so it's Christmas time. He looks over, and there's this tall statue. It's a nutcracker, okay? Well, they've been coming out with colored nutcrackers as well. So he said, wait a second. If that one's called a nutcracker, what's this new one called? And that's when the internet shut down.
That's right. That's when, I ain't going there.
That's when the internet stopped.
Yeah. No, we're done. That was good. We were smart enough to stay out of that.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. So I think the biggest thing whenever we're talking about movement, whenever we're talking about being stuck, when we're ever talking about doing something different, are we where we're supposed to be? First, get some counsel involved and freaking remove the emotions, man. Emotions do not need to be involved in decision matters at all. They're there to feel, right? But they're not in there to move you. Not emotions.
Yeah.
They're too short-lived, and most of the time they're not the right emotion anyways. We got them so twisted and backwards and upside down, we don't even know what true anger's for anymore.
Well, and a lot of it comes after the fact. Like
What?
whatever happened, and then you have the emotion.
Well, yeah, but even then
that's
the
what I mean.
emotion's most of the time wrong.
That's what I'm saying. It's over with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we
then
get,
what good does the emotion?
a lot of people, they lose a job, they get, I'm so angry. Why not get happy because you're about to experience a new opportunity that could really enhance your life? Who's to know?
Right. I used to tell people I'm giving you the opportunity to seek employment elsewhere.
I like that.
All the time. And they would go, what? I go, you can go find another job.
That's right.
Free. You're free. Go fly away.
Yeah. Remove those emotions. Right. One good exercise you can do to start learning emotions and removing emotions is a 72-hour solitaire challenge. What I mean by that is no phones.
Solitaire.
That's right. You, yourself, and you. That's it. With basic survival gear, a knife, flashlight, tent, something like that. Out in the middle of the wilderness, no camping grounds, nothing, just wilderness for 72 hours by yourself.
Man.
I think you'll start learning what an emotion is.
Oh,
That
yeah.
or you don't come out.
Oh, you'll come out. It's not like it's back in the Western days and there's marauders. Well, no, that's true. There are meth heads that do go through those.
Hey,
woods.
I was going to say, we ran across some marauders in Sam Houston.
Yeah.
I had to grab a club.
Yeah, grab a club or something, but you'll be all right, man. You'll be all right. But still, you should challenge yourself to do a 72-hour solitaire trip out in the wilderness.
Yeah,
Well, that's what we've been talking about. Wild at heart. Ain't that right, Richie?
That's it. But I was going to tell you, I didn't. Well, I went in the mountains elk hunting with Ed, and he had to go and left me there by myself that night. I think it was 2 nights. But anyway, the one night I could hear, you hear everything out there. Because there's no other noise, and everybody that thinks nature is quiet, you're wrong. It gets pretty dang loud.
It's very loud.
Yeah, and then you mix in, the cool part was every now and then I would hear an elk call from a long ways off.
Mm.
But then every now and then you'd hear something and go, is that a big fat raccoon or is that something bigger, brown and furry? Because I saw a couple bears there. But anyway, and those little tents, they're not a lot of protection. Some lady, I think in Russia somewhere, got drug out of a tent. And got eaten by a bear or something. But anyway.
Yeah, great segue into why we should go into nature.
Right. Well, I was going to tell you, when we were coming down, here's the part I didn't think about. When we came down, this little town that, he kind of did all his stuff at, he told me, and his buddy was at, and where I left my car while we were up there for the whole 2 weeks. But, he said, this is the most crime-ridden town in all of New Mexico. And I was like, oh, great. So I'm out there all by myself with a bow and arrow in the most crime-ridden area. But anyway, interesting story.
Well, a lot of those bear attacks, it just shoots you straight. It's mostly when people are being retarded and they're going camping in mid-October.
Right.
When the bears are, or when they're coming out of hibernation.
Right.
If you go in the regular springtime, summertime, man, you're not going to have any issues.
Yeah, and most of them run away from you.
Yeah,
especially
they don't care.
black bears. They're not, which is what most of it is.
Yeah.
They're going to go the other way unless you get in front of one of their cubs or something.
Yeah.
Then you'll have a problem. But outside of that, they'll probably go away from
If you're looking for some silent nature, then you can go out to the desert. Because when I was out there in Big Bend, there was so many moments where, especially on the golf course, and I was looking down at the ball, I would just be like, wait, it's like silent. Not even a breeze. It was such an eerie feeling to not hear anything. Yeah. Even my heavy-ass breath. Like, it was like everything just disappeared. It was awesome, honestly. So that's like a different kind of wilderness, I think, to experience some real silence.
That's different.
When you hike down to the window, right?
Yes, I did.
Whenever you hiked down there, then you walked up to there and you saw the big drop off, and then it opens up so big. Could you feel that? Like when I walked up there the first time, I was like, "Wow!" And I could feel it.
It was
not to mention it was a long ways down.
It was a weird kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
Not like in the traditional sense, people or it was way greater than that. It was like truly, you hear people say, "Oh my God, we're so small, man," but it was just truly like that kind of like, "Oh my God, this is it." Like, this is even just a small piece of the earth, yet it's so like magnificent and like crazy to me, Yeah. Plus, it had like 60-mile-an-hour winds blowing through there, so just feeling so many different aspects of nature simultaneously was very kind of humbling, almost.
There you go. That's
I have another topic, but it's kind of separate. I don't know if you guys have anything else. It's like a kind of a jump to something else you guys were talking about before Tom moved away permanently for work.
Things change, brother.
That's why we got Riverside. Sponsor us, Riverside.
You just gotta keep rolling.
You son of a bitch.
Keep rolling. Man, this is your show, Chrissy. Talk to us, man. You're our special guest. I want to hear what you want to talk about.
Something that stuck out to me, I think we were talking about finding a life partner. Since I'm about to be 30. And Richie always says, oh, well, when the time comes, you're not going to have a choice. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit. And then Tom jumped in and said something along the lines of, when you have that kind of partner, you don't give a shit what they look like and this and that. You were talking about how your wife went through a weight transformation and like you didn't notice, right? To me, that sounds like bullshit. And almost, if you really didn't notice, that sounds really selfish to me. Because I get this, and you can jump in at any time. It is a physical thing, right? And you're not obsessed with you're not concerned with physical things. Yet, you have mentioned to me that you notice when she changes spiritually, or like her attitude changes. Like you mentioned that you notice that she tries harder at stuff. Trying to be a better wife and this and that. But wouldn't the weight loss thing be a change of character? Like in a way to where you would kind of notice her trying harder to take care of herself? Yeah.
So just, I'm going to correct you real quick. It's not that I didn't notice.
Can I throw something in real quick before you start?
Go ahead.
I got to we need to be clear about this. I didn't tell him he didn't have a choice. I told him it wasn't up to him. There's a big difference. Okay,
what?
What? There's a big difference.
And I didn't say that I didn't notice my wife lost weight. My saying was when she was heavier, I didn't notice how heavy she was.
Okay.
Until she lost weight, and then she showed me pictures, and I'm like, I didn't even recognize. I mean, I'm being complete honest. I had no idea who that woman was in that picture. She was like, "That was me. That's me," and I'm like, "No, it wasn't. It's totally two different people." So I didn't notice her. There's a movie that came out in the early 2000s called Shallow Hal. It's with Jack Black. And that's what I think I had, is I was so in love with my Amy, with my wife, right, that I didn't know that she was that heavy. I didn't know.
Okay. That makes more sense. You didn't notice that, but you did notice when she actually put in the effort to change.
Well, yeah. In fact, I noticed so much, though. Things, even though I couldn't visualize that she was that big, when she got super skinny, it worried me because things felt differently. Things looked differently.
Felt differently?
Everything felt differently, bro. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to embarrass my wife too much, but things felt differently. Her hand felt different. Her arm felt different. Her ass felt different. Things felt different. In fact,
I don't want to get too much into it, but
I had to go to my sponsor and say, I'm fucking worried. What if I don't find her attractive when she's, lost all this weight? Because apparently I'm attracted to fat women. Because she was big most of our relationship that I wasn't aware of. Now, keep in mind, there was a lot of alcohol and some drugs going on. So I probably wasn't there the first, 15 years of my marriage. And then when I came sober, I started noticing things. So, I don't know. I mean, when you love somebody, you don't really see the flaws that other people see. That's just honest truth. A lot of things, or if you do see them, that's the things that you love about them. Their quirkiness, They're like, oh my God, I can't believe she does that. And I'm like, shit, that turns me on.
Understood.
I'm just shooting you straight. When you find that person, or when that person finds you, Chris, that It's
not
just
up to you.
happens, man. There's nothing you can do about it, bro.
Define it's not up to you, because like that just.
You still have.
Okay, well I guess it's not your choice versus it's not up to you.
Okay, well
Yeah,
I
still
can
have a
explain it
choice.
for you, Chris. You're an alcoholic, yeah? Are you an alcoholic, Chris?
All the above.
Okay, so once you put alcohol in your mouth, do you have a choice anymore?
Choice of
Can
what?
you-
What I drink?
Well, can you just say, okay, I don't want to drink anymore?
If I try really hard, then
But for the most part.
no.
So you've
Still
lost
doesn't
that
work.
choice. Same thing with a woman when when the right woman is there. Once you taste her, once her lips touch your lips, dude, you have now lost the power of choice.
Yeah, but then
No,
wouldn't
there's
I
no
just go to
fucking-
my higher power and say,
There's-
higher power, please remove this lack of choice that I have from the sweet taste of my wife?
No, that's
No? Then why not?
because you don't have the power of choice.
Bitch.
Yeah,
And we have character defects we like.
yeah.
You want to
honest
take
with you.
away all my lust? Just how about just a little bit of lust?
No, I think the steps say all.
Yeah, well.
Little nitpicky word.
Mm-hmm.
So, good
So
stuff.
there you go. But the biggest issue that you got, Chrissy, is I don't think you're getting yourself out there. I don't think you're putting your thing out there, letting everyone see what you got.
He ain't trolling.
If you ain't out there, man, no one's going to be able to see it.
Where do I go, Tom? You're a pro at this.
Go. I told you, man, I would join like hiking clubs, foraging clubs, things that you're into, things that you want to get into. They got
By the way, this
Dallas
is
clubs.
advice for all the young men out there who are like, I can't meet girls, and where do you find them?
Yeah.
This is 101, Find Girls 101. Tommy, go.
Yeah, just
There you go.
start joining those clubs, getting out there doing running clubs, triathlon clubs, rowing clubs, whatever. I mean, they got the groups everywhere, Facebook groups everywhere. Join them.
Yeah.
Get out there and put yourself out there.
Get the bicycle club, get in the bicycle club, and, find yourself one to follow. That's
Absolutely.
what you do.
When you're out there at the grocery store, when you're at the gas station, you see a pretty girl, say, you know what, I think you're very beautiful. And then just let it be.
Opportunity.
Just let
man.
it be? Walk off, or
You're
Just say, I just
see,
want you
see
to
there.
know you're very beautiful. And now
Drop the
she
mic?
responds, yeah,
Yeah, there you go. See, look, you're already thinking outcome.
not opportunity.
Tom's talking about opportunity. You're
Opportunity.
thinking outcome. You're thinking what I do then, what I do next.
what's next? What's the
Yeah.
perfect move?
Yeah.
The
See,
next
that's-
thing will come. It will come.
Right. First of
promise.
all, we had to quit playing God. What's next? What's next? I got to know or I'm not going to do nothing. That's lack of faith, bro.
That's right.
You got
See, I'm trying to take the wheel with girls, and I'm like, God, I got this. Even though I ain't getting none, I got this.
Yeah. You got to get yourself out there, brother.
Yeah. Forget the outcome.
Well, this applies to all the young gents, because in this generation, it's tough out here. These guys are obsessed. Fortunately, I don't really partake in this, but not like it's any better because I just isolate. But it's the apps. It's the dating apps. It's the instant gratification of swiping right and left instead of getting like the bravery that honestly you guys were forced to have if you wanted to have any interactions. You had to go out there.
Yeah.
Now it's just swipe right and left.
Yeah, I don't know much about the new technology. I mean, I think I tried the dating apps a long time ago. Probably, oh heck, dude, this is 25 years ago when internet first came out, type of thing.
They had dating apps?
They did. They had one. This would have been 1998, 1999. So the internet would have been out for maybe 8 to 10 years by now.
What was it called?
I was already
AOL
married.
Harmony?
I was
don't
already
know.
married for 10 years by then.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, but the thing is I went out on dates. It wasn't about having sex and all that stuff. I was truly interested in wanting to meet somebody and have conversations with, and it's a mindset, For some reason, these apps get people. Oh no, it's just all about having sex and doing the dirty, whatever. But I mean, if that's what you're into, then keep doing that, man. But if you're ready to start having relationships, fucking grow up. You know, get out there, put yourself out there, be vulnerable. You know, stop playing God, be vulnerable. Let yourself, you know, show everybody your little pee-pee.
Is that your motto?
Just
show everybody your little pee-pee.
The right person will love it.
That's right.
The right person will love it.
And they won't have a choice. It's not up to them if they love it.
That's right. The greatest thing my wife ever told me, she was like, no, honey, you're perfect. The big ones are the ones that hurt.
There you go.
That's a good woman right there.
That's right. No, honey, you're perfect. It's the big ones that hurt.
I hate it.
Yeah. That made me cry for 2 years, man.
Oh.
It's the big ones that hurt.
Oh, shit. Well, you know, that's a very valid thing you mentioned, and I see that rampant, is even with, like, the amount of crazy kind of gender fluidity, right, that's going on right now, men, the ones who really feel like the men, cannot be vulnerable, or they're not men. They can't put themselves out there, or they're not men. They put on this facade, you know? So that's something that's still really tough, I think, to this day, even though, like, more femininity is coming out of men than ever.
Well, that's society's view. Is that what you were saying?
More or less, yeah.
Society,
especially like old school. Like, I mean, you know, my dad, to this day, I barely saw my dad cry at his dad's funeral.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of what was taught. But the truth is, that can't be further from the truth. You know, real men are vulnerable. I mean, you're not out there acting in faith if you're not vulnerable. You understand? Because when I'm acting in faith, the right thing's going to happen. I got to accept that, but it may or may not be something that I'm going to like. And that's the deal. That's the way it goes. So,
well, what does that mean, acting in faith?
You step out in faith. Whenever I decide to do something like you were talking about, I go talk to that girl because, the opportunity came up, and I'm, going to be a nice person and all this, and I'm not trying to plan the whole outcome.
Yeah. Well, honestly, Chris,
a
lot of what you're talking about, I mean, I'll just shoot you straight. Yeah, it's a little bit more convoluted now with all the gender stuff, but the truth is it's always been awkward for men to be men and women to be women from the beginning of time, because it's that period of, am I enough? Do I have what it takes? It's always that question,
Right.
That's just that's been around since the beginning of time. Now we just convolute it a little bit more because now there's 15 other genders. But
right.
The truth is it's still the same. It's still the same thing, man.
Well, I disagree with the 15 genders. I only believe in 2.
I'm just saying, Richard, I didn't say I believed in it.
Oh.
I said society has 15 other 30 different, I don't know. I think they actually said there's 114 new genders. Okay?
Right.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sounds like species of fish. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We know that there's really 4.
Right.
Wait a second.
Well, that awkwardness you keep talking about, feeling, that's the vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're feeling, is vulnerability.
And whip it out right when you feel it that way.
So if you're out there doing something to cause that feeling, you're acting in faith. You're vulnerable. So the truth is, that's a real man. If I hold back because I'm worried what everybody else says, nothing's ever going to get done. That's it. I don't get to be a man. I get to stay home at mommy's house. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents on that.
There you go.
Lesson learned.
Yeah.
Actually putting yourself out there, being vulnerable,
Yeah.
sensitive, is being more of a man than putting on a
involved.
facade, hiding it.
Now you want to hear something even crazier, Chris? The more scared you are of that vulnerability, the more chances that person is going to be the right one. when your hands get sweaty, when your mouth gets all dry and you're going to go try to talk to that girl or the guy, whoever you're into, that's probably a good opportunity. It's the ones that you don't care about. They're like, oh, I'll go talk to that girl, whatever. There's no connection there. It's when there's a connection. When there's that connection, that vulnerability starts blooming, you know, and you're starting to get a little shaky, scared, sweating, all that stuff. That's the one you should go after, man, because it's going to be worth it. I promise you.
That's
the big one.
I don't know.
What's the rule? Right after you say "but," everything is bullshit. You're gonna say.
Only shit comes out of there.
However,
okay.
On the contrary, I can't speak for every guy, but I mean, I get nervous, whatever, shaky. I mean, if the chick's just hot, like they're just like hotter than average, so. How would you even know that that's a good opportunity just because they're hot? I mean, even you told me, Chris, you need to stop going for those hot ones because they're the stuck-up ones. They're not even the fun ones.
Well, see, I think the big difference with that, bud, honestly, there's going to be always beautiful women out there. But here's the honest truth.
You're goddamn right.
All of those beautiful girls, there's a dude out there somewhere that's tired of her shit.
Yeah.
Okay? So
Fair.
don't go after her just because she's hot and she's got a nice ass, dude. There's got to be, you got to feel something in here. Like there's something else going on here. It's not that she's just hot. It's not just about that. Yes, you should be attracted to her, but there's something else inside of you that is pulling you. And that's where going to the vulnerability.
I mean, that's a good point. I don't know if I know how that feels, / how do you experience any other attraction initially if you haven't said anything to them yet other than the physical one? Like, what else could be pulling me to them? I don't know how they sound. I don't know what they think. You know what I mean?
The spirit, brother. The spirit.
Feel their spirit?
It happens, man. I'm
Oh,
telling
my.
you. I got it.
That sounds
I'm going to
hot.
call you on your bullshit, Chris. You're 30 years old. I guarantee you there's been women in your life that you felt a natural connection with.
I mean, like one.
Okay.
That's it.
That's good.
But I had talked to her first. No, not before I talked to her. It was like, but the thing was, it was like right when I talked to her.
Okay. So
You know what I'm saying? But
So now
what
you know
we're
how it
referring to
feels.
is before you talk to her.
Either way. Sometimes it may take years, and all of a sudden you look at her and you go, oh, crap. She's been in front of me this whole time.
My.
So it just happens. That's where Richard keeps talking about it ain't up to you.
It ain't up to you. I will say, if in the beginning, you know, like you're talking about, probably before you even talk to them, you're deciding. You need to know enough or ask yourself enough if you're thinking about this one, and this is not going to be popular at all. And anyway, I'll tell you my experiences, this is not going to be popular at all. But ask yourself, what does she have to bring to the party? You know, is she real good looking and she's a high school dropout and, you know, works weekends and nights? You know what I'm saying? Or is she in college? Is she working on herself? Because when you start thinking about a long-term relationship, you're talking long-term. You know, the physical part and all that is important, and that's important long-term too, and a lot of people forget that, but it is important. But there's a whole lot more to it than that, you know. There's times when the physical part of it is less and less when you're busy and you got things going on in life. Life is busy, you know, and it comes and goes. Those are times, but what else do they have? You know,
I think that's a really good piece of advice to like take the pressure off of the man, honestly.
That's bullshit.
It's not about
bullshit.
that.
It's all bullshit.
It doesn't fucking matter if she's a high school fucking dropout. Yeah. It does matter what can she bring to the table.
Right. I'm just
saying. It doesn't matter if she has a fucking education.
Are you taking it personally? Is Amy a high school dropout?
No, you're talking. You were describing my mother that had to drop out of high school at 16 years old because she had me.
Well, that was a different
time. But she brought a lot to the table. She was working 3 jobs. She was paying her own bills. She was a self-sufficient woman. Now, that's a goddamn woman I'd like to marry, a self-sufficient woman. I don't give a shit about her education.
I'd like to marry my mother, is what he just said.
That's what he just said.
I'm just saying that's bullshit.
I'd like to marry my mom.
Most men do. Most men marry a woman like their mother. That's just a fact.
If they're lucky.
That's just a fact.
My mom dropped out of high school, too. She didn't graduate.
My mom never went to high school.
But what they can bring to the table, it doesn't always have to be. It's what you're looking for.
100%. I wasn't defining what you should look for.
Maybe I did in my description. She's hot, but she's a high school dropout.
Tommy, you took that one a little bit too personally.
No, what I was describing.
I know. I dated a lot of high school dropouts. There's a lot to offer.
Don't you dare!
Listen, I was only describing one possibility track for a high school dropout.
You picked
There's
the wrong
other
fucking
tracks.
one to pick, Barry.
Well, that was just one. I mean,
You could have picked another one.
You got to be dramatic. You got to get somebody's attention.
You were talking about the good ones, damn it.
That's part of the deal. I'll entertain you for a while until you
there you go.
Learn to start listening. I'm talking about something else.
It is. But a lot of the things that a partner that you're looking for is support. Now, whatever that support is that you're looking for, it's different from everybody. It's different for men, it's different from women, it's different in between men, it's different. It's all different. Some guys need more emotional support. Some guys need more financial support. Some guys need more whatever. I mean, it's what are your desires? It's like the yin and the yang, man. Where you lack, your partner is going to fulfill. Okay. A lot of the things that the opposites attract. Usually in a marriage, you got a straight-laced, logical thinker, and then you got a wild horse that just gets up and goes. I mean, it's just the way it is, man. But that's the way we've been built. Everything fits together perfectly like that. That's just been my experience. But going back to for you, Chrissy, you got to get yourself out there, brother.
I'm working on it, and I will.
There it is.
I'll go join a bowling league. I like bowling.
Hey, get out there, do bowling. Yeah. There's a lot of high school dropouts over there, right, Barry?
There you go.
There's a ton of them.
Like shooting fish in a barrel, right? Yes. That's the expression.
I will tell you this. Don't go to an AA meeting to pick up women.
Haven't tried that one yet.
Don't do that. Don't go to recovery to find a wife.
That was good. Good lesson and good all around, old goats. I appreciate it.
Yeah, even though that includes the orchard.
Hey, those are high class crackheads. Don't you dare.
They have high school diplomas.
Maybe.
What was that one girl's name? Don't you talk about Brandy. That's my girl.
There you go.
So,
anything else, boys, men, goats?
No, that was a good one. I enjoyed talking with you, Lil Chrissy. I miss you, man.
Yeah, well, I hope to see you this Saturday.
I will be there Saturday. I'll do my best to make it into town every weekend.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
Good episode. 2 old goats. I'll definitely hop on at least semi-periodically. Get these guests rolling along. It'll definitely spicing up the podcast. You guys have been consistent as shit, man. Keep it up. Y'all are awesome, honestly. Whole year. Y'all have didn't y'all start like last January, February?
I don't know.
Look back. I don't know.
I just keep showing up. You know who counts? Grandmas count. Grandmas without such education count.
And YouTube statistics.
I don't know how many of this is.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, y'all are
this
killing
is number 33, but there was quite a few where we had other stuff to do.
Right.
We were getting set up. I think we've come a ways.
Hey, if anybody made it this far, thanks for joining. Yeah. Y'all are the real 1%. The other old goats. See you guys next time.
All right. Y'all get out and get the sun.
Peace out.